October 1st, 2015 at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Coletti is absent due to a family commitment. Martino.
Yes.
Patagano.
Here.
Bonsino is absent due to illness. Dombrowski.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
I'm here.
We have a quorum.
Everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute. Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting with your trustworthy fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of every meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised, the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is being videoed to be on Cablevision and Verizon. The dates on both stations: Tuesday, 12 noon, Thursday, 4 p.m., and Friday at 10 a.m. I'll repeat that: 12 noon on Tuesday, Thursday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 10 a.m. And of course, you can always watch it on our own website. Thank you.
Mayor, this evening, under the approval of minutes, we have February 26, 2015 work session, September 17, 2015 regular meeting, September 21st, 2015 joint meeting with the library board, September 24th, 2015 work session, and September 24th, 2015 executive session.
May I have a motion for all?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dombrowski, second?
Second.
Mr. Catamagna. The only discussion I have, if you want to abstain on any, and please let Mr. Kazmark know now.
I need to.
Just note the date when we do the roll.
Okay.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Coletti is absent. Martino.
September 21st.
Abstain.
Yes.
Patagano.
February 26th, abstain.
Bonsino is absent. Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening we have the Elmwood Park Little League 12-year-old Divisional Champion Awards to present.
Thank you very much. And first of all, congratulations, guys. You did an excellent job, and that's what counts. Right now, I do want to call up Mr. Jeff Leader, who wants to make a couple comments as to what you've achieved.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to recognize the team here this evening. I'm also an officer at Elm Park Little League, and the night of their game, as it would been well publicized all over the newspaper for months in the month of July, Jason was fighting for his life. And he was at his lowest of his low at that particular moment. They didn't even know if he was going to make it that evening. And I received a text from somebody from Little League, and there was a picture of the entire team. Now, if anybody knows our foundation or anything, we have what's called Let Them Be Little, X2. And they dedicated these young guys here, they dedicated the game to Jason. And at the end, when they won the game, they took a picture underneath the scoreboard, creating an X2 with their hands. And it might not mean a lot to some of us here, but when, you guys knew how sick Jason was, and I'll say he was on his deathbed, the uplifting picture that you guys sent us, it was my wife, myself, and Jason, and we spent 3 weeks in a hospital. And the picture that you guys sent us, I don't even know if you know we received that, it was very uplifting. Not only to make me and my wife fight harder for Jason, because you guys did what you did on the ball field, but it made us feel like we were home. Because being in a hospital stuck for 3 weeks, watching Jason, who is a 9-year-old son that can't play sports anymore like you guys, and watching him suffer the way he was, it made us feel so good that we knew back at home that you guys were still thinking about my little boy Jason. And I just wanted to thank this team for doing that, dedicating the game for Jason, giving him the game ball, which we were presented when we arrived home from North Carolina, and I truly, truly appreciate that. And I'm proud to be part of Elm Park Little League with you guys. Thank you. God bless.
We have certificates that are going to be handed out. The 12-year-old Little League World Series Division Championship 2015. Congratulations. And if I can have one of the coaches come up to help me out and read the names, and I'll present the certificate, and then we'll take some pictures. What I'd like you to do is come up, get your certificate, and walk in the front of the council, and I think they all want to shake your hand. Okay?
Maybe before you start handing out the certificates, I want to, recognize these young boys. I coached them for 3 years myself.
Keith White, excuse me.
Keith Worth, President of Elm Park Little League. Very sorry. It's been a long time since I sat up here, so forgive me. But I want to recognize these young men. They are a special group. I knew that right the day when Elmwood Park Little League and Elmwood Park Junior Baseball League played against each other in one of the tournaments, and it was a classic tournament. And after that game, with both teams met together at center field, and right then, we had a dream team. And this is a dream team that I think any coach would enjoy coaching. These young men never complained. They practiced hard. They were there every Sunday, starting in early May, for 2.5, 3 hours. I know the coaches were tough. I know I'm kind of a little bit of a screamer along with Matt, and Nick is a quiet one, but like I said, these boys were fantastic. Their parents were supportive. They drove them all over the place to get into the games on time. They played some phenomenal games. They won a championship in 2013, the Paramus 9 to 10-year-old championship. They came in second in the Paramus 11-year-old, and this year they won the Nevis championship. 2013 they were undefeated. 2014 they were 11-3, and this year we're undefeated again. And like I said, outstanding team. I have to say they must hit about 35 to 40 homers.
Wow.
I'd say 10 out of the 13 kids hit home runs. 8 players hit more than 3. You had a load of pitching. I mean, it was a dream team come true. So, but I'll let Matt take over here. I know he's got a lot to say.
Well, first of all, he said everything basically, and I'm not going to pretty much repeat everything. Great bunch of kids. Excellent job, guys.
Can you hear them okay? No, they have to speak in the phone.
Microphone.
The mic.
Yeah, like they said, this group was a great team to coach. I've been coaching these kids. Some of them were 6 years old, like Miles and Ellis over there. Tim was 7. But they played great, and you can never ask anything better than from these kids. Congratulations.
All right, here we go. We're going to call out. Cody. Miles Nova. Timothy Markovic. Pedro Abreu. Zachary Martinez. Derek Romero. Derek, stop wrecking the place, please.
Nice job, nice job. You're right, you're right.
Ellis Garcia.
Ian Spinoza. Joseph Rivera. Hey, he's taller than you. He's only 12. Nicholas Gillis. Frank Carreri. Ryan Kazak. Must be something in the Elwood Park water. Coach Nick Merkabach. Once again, boys, be very proud of yourself. Great job, boys. Great job. Great job. How do you want it, Bob?
Go in the front, Joe.
I know. We can't go size order because. Why don't you lower them into the front? And then let the kids stand up against the wall. Why don't you guys stand up close to these chairs? Right. Now, let's go back up on the sides.
I think we can do it back here.
Can I take this over?
Thanks, Keith. All right, go in the front, guys, in the front. Small in the front, big in the back. Can we let the photographer take the first picture and then the parents can take pictures after that, just so that we don't have flashes going on? Thank you.
Everyone smile.
Hey, parents, any pictures you want to take? Eyes forward, boys, eyes forward. Look at your parents. Good job.
Mayor, if we may, I think the council would like to also address the young boys.
In the meeting, Joe, I know how to do this. I've been doing it for 40 years.
Just want to make sure.
No, come on. No. If there's any councilman who wishes to make any comments, Mr. Martino?
Most of these kids, I've been
part of Little League, I don't know, maybe 6 to 7 years. Most of them I've probably practiced with and played with, and it's an amazing feat. You know, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, hopefully you're going to remember this day, because you know what? It's very hard to do what you guys did. You know, there's the whole state, everybody wants to be undefeated, everybody wants to hit home run, everybody wants to catch, but you know what? What you guys did, the amount of work that you put in, because I saw it, I was there, and the amount of times that some games were a little shaky, you know what? You all came through it. And for that, you deserve a round of applause.
I would just like to say congratulations to all of you, and you're following in a long line of great athletes in this town. I think it is in the water, like somebody said here. You guys are big and strong, and you deserved exactly what you got, so congratulations.
I'd also like to congratulate each one of you gentlemen for a job well done in putting Elmwood Park and being great ambassadors for the town. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're playing in Elmwood Park or if you're going to Wayne or any other town to play. You're ambassadors of Elmwood Park, and you were undefeated. You know, we're a community of about 20,000 residents. Not, you know, and the fact is you probably played towns that have, you know, a third more residents and more kids, and you know what? They may have more kids, but we definitely had the talent, and I congratulate you. Little League, everybody was watching in August. Everybody was watching a Little League World Series in Williamsport. Everybody was rooting for the U.S. team, and to think that you guys were really part of that, and you were undefeated. Okay, you didn't make it to Williamsport, but you know that's a great, great, great commitment from you, and a job well done to all the coaches. And coaches, as I say, you know, these young men 20 years from now, when you see them in the supermarket and they come up to you and say, hey, coach, thanks a lot, remember this, because it's just as important for you coaches, too. And I'd also like to say that the little speech that Coach Leader mentioned about you guys never gave up on the family. You never gave up on Jason. And to see that you came together as a team, as a community, to help the leaders through and give him something. You know, it means a lot, and congratulations. I'm very proud of all of you, and thank you for what you've done for Elmwood Park.
Coaches, players, makes me feel very proud living in Elmwood Park. I'm very happy to stay in a nice town. Let's keep up the good work, and congratulations. I wish, you know, everybody who participates in sports the best thing in the world. And school, don't forget education. Again, congratulations, Coach, and everybody.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate and thank all the coaches. You do an excellent job. The kids appreciate it. I appreciate it. The parents appreciate it. And the fantastic salary you get, which is zero, makes it all worthwhile. I know that. And to the parents who are here, thank you for getting your sons involved. Do what you can for them, because I want to tell you a little story. All the young fellas here, you play baseball, you have a great opportunity not only to go to college, but who knows in the future what the future holds for you, playing Major League Ball. But it gets you into college. You enjoy college baseball. It helps you with the finances of college. I remember going to college. I went to William Patterson College. It was called Patterson State at that time. And we had a great team. A great team. We went down to Texas to play in a tournament. And in that tournament, there was a young fellow from Southern Illinois. I think that's the name, it's a long time ago. His name was Lou Brock. Lou Brock became a Major League Baseball player and held the Major League record for stolen bases. And I played against him. The amazing part was I was playing shortstop at the time. He hit a ball to me, nice, easy, bouncing ball. I picked it up through the first. He was gone already. He was that fast. I had never played against anybody who ran that fast. I think his average in college was something like 720. Amazing college record. But you can do that. You can go to college. You can play other teams in college, have your tuition paid for or partially paid for. And the best part is you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy every minute, because baseball is a fun sport. Be careful, continue to work hard, and you'll be a success. And keeping school in mind, most helpful, most appropriate to keep your grades up so you can do all those things you want to do. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Now, if the parents want to stay and the kids want to stay for our meeting, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll just take a short recess and you can go enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Are we ready?
Yep. Mayor, moving on to ordinances under second reading. This evening, we have Resolution 334-15, introduce ordinance 15-21 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, entitled Fire Prevention, whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, September 17th, 2015, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend Chapter 14 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, entitled Fire Prevention, pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Mr. Martino, any discussion? Anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? No one wishes to be heard, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Mr. Martino, second.
Second.
Mr. Pettigano, discussion? Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti is absent. Martino?
Yes.
Pettigano?
Yes.
Bonsino is absent. Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 335-15, payment of bills, Resolution 336-15, payment of escrow, Resolution 337-15, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 338-15, adopt a corrective action plan for the 2014 municipal audit, Resolution 339-15, resolution authorizing change fund for the Health Department, Resolution 340-15, dedication by rider, Elmwood Park Centennial Committee Trust Fund, Resolution 341-15, approved grant application, Boulevard Improvement Section 10, Phase 2, Resolution 342-15, redeem third-party tax lien 107 18th Avenue, Resolution 343-15, refund over tax overpayment due to tax court decision 26 and 54 Lily Arts Lane, Resolution 344-15, resolution authorizing the Department of Public Works to secure residents located at 390 Boulevard, Resolution 345-15, resolution authorizing the use of the all-purpose room for the Mobilization for Animal Rights Incorporated Group, Resolution 346-15, appoint firefighter Company 1 Stephen Kolchak, Resolution 347-15, appoint firefighter Company 1 Justin Lewinsky, Resolution 348-15, authorize refunds for the Recreation Department programs, Resolution 349-15, authorize refund for Recreation Department summer camp, Resolution 350-15, appoint before and aftercare aide within the Recreation Department, Resolution 351-15, change of status for crossing guard from full-time status to substitute, Resolution 352-15, redeem third-party tax lien for 15 Parkview Avenue. Resolution 353-15, refund tax overpayment due to tax court ruling 30 Paul Colliner Court Place. And Resolution 354-15, resolution to confirm endorsement of the Community Development Block Grant Project Grant for 2016.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Mr. Martino, second.
Second?
Mr. Dombrowski, any comments? I would like to make one comment for the ladies and gentlemen who are here in the audience, and for the people who are going to be watching this on tape. Resolution 341-15, Boulevard Improvement, Section 10. That is the section from Route 4 down to Elmwood Terrace. It's a state grant, so we're not paying for that. We are in taxes to the state, but it's a state grant. We also have a state grant that brings us down to Lee Street. It can't be implemented this year because they had some problems getting the money, but we have that grant. That'll be done next year. But it's such a terrible situation from Route 4 down to Elmwood Terrace that we're going to be we're going to be getting that done this year so that we don't have a major problem in the winter. Be aware of that. Oh, also be aware that when that's paved, excuse me, when that's to be paved, I'm not sure how it's going to be done or where it's going to be done, but you might have some detours going there, so it's going to be a very difficult situation. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti is absent. Martino?
Yes.
Pettigano?
Yes.
Bonsino is absent. Dombrowski?
Yes.
Mayor, this evening under departmental reports, we have the municipal court report for August and the recreation department report for September.
Motion, please.
So moved?
Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Mr. Martino, any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti is absent. Martino?
Yes.
Pettigano?
Yes.
Bonsino is absent. Dombrowski?
Yes.
And Mayor, under applications, we have the St. Leo's raffle application.
Motion, please.
So moved?
Mr.
Second.
Dombrowski, second.
Catamania?
Second, anybody?
Catamania.
Yeah.
Mr.
right.
Catamania, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Coletti is absent. Martino?
Yes.
Pettigano?
Yes.
Bonsino is absent. Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, that concludes my portion of the agenda.
Thank you. Committee reports, Mr. Catamania?
I don't have much, Mayor. I didn't get a chance to go out too much. I had a sciatic problem. I feel a little bit better. I got my shot. And I wasn't able to go to schools, but I could see a lot of work done on the field. I'm very impressed how much they come up. I tell you, it's really incredible how much they build up the field. It's going to be beautiful, and I'll be able to see the games better. I don't have to go there to see the games, see from my house. Besides the mayor, I was watching TV this afternoon, and I saw the Oregon terrible thing happen again at the college. 23 kids are dead, another 20 wounded. Terrible. I don't see how this country cannot stop this violence. This gun control is to be done a better job. This has happened over and over again, and really very discouraging. Scares parents when they send the kids away to college. I know there's some kids are very sick, do something like that. But we should work very hard to prevent this. I'm sure a lot of people said, and my heart goes to them and to the family. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Catamania. Mr. Martino, would you like to say a few words?
A few things, you know, in September, the beginning of September, we thought we'd have all these problems with the traffic and everything else, and with the construction. But I got to tell you, between the police, the construction, Mr. Kazmark's office, I don't think it's been that bad. And this week, they were doing the rest of the Market Street. And so far, and I know some of the residents, even some of the business owners, we thought it would be terrible. So who's ever been involved, whether it be the police or the fire or anybody, DPW, anybody that's been involved in that, I think has done a great job. So I have to applaud them for not having the town in a knot because of all the traffic. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Councilman Pettigano?
Thank you. The rec will be having a harvest day on October 17th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be a pumpkin bounce for children, apple cider, donuts, pumpkins, and we'll be taking pictures in front of all this also for some memories. Also, the movie Under the Stars was very successful this past Friday. Hotel Transylvania went over very big. And I want to thank Spencer Bank for their donation and support. Also, there will be a Halloween party at the Rec Center on October 29th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Children from grades 5 are welcome, K through 5 are welcome. All costumes will receive a gift and special prizes for the best ones. And lastly, the Elmwood Park Alumni Association will be sponsoring an event at the high school on October 11th. Banners will be installed from 15 different classes who donated money for these banners and also donated money towards a scholarship program. So I want to congratulate those classes ahead of time. The event on October 11th is at 11 a.m. There will also be refreshments afterwards and a school tour if anybody's interested. So thank you very much. Mayor?
Thank you.
Councilman, can I just confirm, is that the 10th or the 11th, that the banner, is it
The
Saturday?
11th.
Okay,
That's
The
a
11th.
Saturday morning.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Because I think it's October 10th. I think it's October 10th.
That's the 10th?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Mayor, if in your absence, I didn't get a chance to do my report, but I'd like to say it now. Board of Health, Elmwood Park Board of Health will hold 2 flu vaccination clinics. The first will be on October 19th from 10:30 to 11:30, located at the Senior Center, which is located at the corner of the Boulevard and Market Street. And the second clinic will be held here at Borough Hall on October 29th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And all recipients to get a free flu vaccine must be Elmwood Park residents. If anyone has any questions, feel free to call 201-796-1457, extension 604.
Mr. Dombrowski, the 19th, what's the time on that?
The 19th is 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Senior Center. And then on the 29th here at Borough Hall, it may be in the all-purpose room, or it could be up here, we're not exactly sure, but that'll be from 6 to 7. The Elmwood Park Regional Chamber of Commerce, on October 15th, they will be hosting a marketing and social media event at Tiramisu Restaurant at 205 Market Street, right here in Elmwood Park. From 5 o'clock to 6 p.m., there will be a meet and greet. There'll also be an Italian buffet dinner plus a cash bar. From 6:15 to 7 p.m., they'll have a social media and marketing workshop. And from 7 p.m. to 7:30 will be a questions and answer. And we encourage all businesses, or anybody even thinking of going into business, to attend this. It will be a cost of $20 for members and $25 for non-members to attend. As I said, we encourage all to come, find out what's going on in the business world here in Elmwood Park as well as in the area. It would be a good opportunity to meet some of the business owners. Again, on Saturday, November 15th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m., the Elmwood Park Regional Chamber of Commerce will be holding a bowl-a-thon at Parkway Lanes here in Elmwood Park. The cost is $25 per person. It includes pizza, soft drink, 2 hours worth of bowling, rental shoes, and free return game coupon to be used in the future. The last bowling event that we had was phenomenal. It was great. The parents brought their kids, they brought their neighbors. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Can't tell you, some of the bowling balls might not have been in all the right lanes, but we had a lot of fun, and it's something that it's an opportunity to get out and have some good family time. Anybody interested in attending, you could email at info@epchamber.net, or by calling 201-796-1457, and that's extension 230. I'd also like to again congratulate the 12-year-old Little League traveling team for a job well done, their coaches. This is the first time in history that Elmwood Park has had a division winner at that level, and it's spectacular. I've also been asked by the project graduation parents to make a few announcements. On Wednesday, October 14th, they will be doing a Wendy's night where 15% of all proceeds from 5 to 8 p.m. will be donated back to the project graduation. Project graduation is a program where on graduation night, the children, instead of going out and going to parties, they go to a location. I'm not exactly sure of the location. I believe it's a college this year in which they're going to. but this helps keep the kids safe. It's been something that Elmwood Park has been doing for a few years now. It's been very, very successful. So please join them at Wendy's on the 14th from 5 to 8, and 15% of the proceeds will go to them. They will also be doing a Yankee Candle sale. It's an online sale starting on October 26th and running through 11/9. And then on Halloween, they will be doing a Halloween beefsteak at the VFW from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's $50 per person, and it's beer and soda is included, and that's on 1031. If anybody has any questions about Project Graduation, please call Laura Maros at 201-417-9688. I'd also like to announce that Bergen County American Legion will be holding Oktoberfest on October 10th. Can you see that? From 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. They'll be doing traditional Oktoberfest food, 50-50, beer and music, and that'll be held here at the American Legion at Post 147. It's $25 per person, and it's another opportunity to get out and enjoy the fall events. We also have the Elmwood Park Hall of Fame dinner, which will be held on October 21st at the Brownstone. This year's inductees will be inducted into the Elmwood Park Hall of Fame. They'll get a plaque that goes up in the school, and anybody interested in that particular program can contact me directly, and I will get you in touch with the coordinators of that. I just want to also, if you read in today's local paper, our community news, I want to congratulate and compliment the Elmwood Park Police Department, our chief, and the special narcotics officers. After a 2-month undercover operation, they broke up an alleged drug distribution house, which was located on the boulevard. This council months ago voted to approve and hire 7 new officers. By doing so, it allowed our chief to create a dedicated narcotics unit. To date, our officers have made over 300 narcotic arrests. Bergen County Prosecutor's Office has confirmed that Elmwood Park is the 9th highest crime rate out of the 70 communities in Bergen County. In my opinion, that crime rate was escalated because we only had 33 officers at the time. The new hires allow our police to be proactive in fighting crime rather than being reactive. They're arresting the abusers who come into our community from other areas. Many of these arrests are out-of-towners, folks. But we do have some issues in our own town, and because we have these extra police officers, we have dedicated officers that are going undercover and making things happen and making these arrests stick. So I congratulate them, and I thank them for helping fix Elmwood Park and keeping the crime rate down, getting the crime rate to come down. Finally, on October 19th, the mayor and council held a joint meeting with the Elmwood Park Library. I was very disappointed in what I heard coming from the members of the library board. It's no secret that I have had my comments and concerns about the progress or lack of progress and their ability to move forward with the capital plan and the maintenance of the building. Councilman Vancino and I questioned the members of the board, and the answers that we got were, we haven't seen the architect's plan, nor have we seen the request for the quote, which means they don't know what the architect was asked to do. Mayor Mola, who is on the library board, is quoted as saying, the board gave the architect an idea of what they're looking for. After our meeting, it is clear to me that the mayor's statement is not 100% correct. How could the board be given the architect an idea of work if the members are saying they haven't seen it? They haven't met with the architect. I don't understand. So, seems to me that there's a select few that are in control of, and the majority of the board is left in the dark. This is not acceptable. We as a council are encouraging the select few to bring the entire library board up to speed and make decisions based upon data and facts and as to what the library needs. The majority of the library board should agree on a capital improvement, not just a select few. One other thing that I'm disappointed in is regardless of whatever the board decides to do, either add a room or make the needed room within the confines of the existing building, there's still a problem with a leaking roof, holes in the soffit, and there's been, months ago we reported issues with squirrels invading and entering the building through the holes. After I brought this issue up some time ago, they put a screen over the hole of the soffit. Obviously, the screen isn't working because they found a squirrel running through the library recently. And what irritates me is that we have $1.7 million sitting in the bank to do capital improvements and maintenance of the building. When are we going to fix the roof? Why do we need to wait to decide whether we're adding square footage or using the existing building? Fix the roof, fix the soffit, get it done now. Let's not wait until somebody gets bit by one of these squirrels. We need to fix this now. The residents of Elmwood Park deserve a well-maintained and useful library. Today it's October 1st, 2015, and with the board in the dark and no progress for 3 years and 9 months on this library since the 2012 capital plan was put into place, I feel that the select few are doing the residents of Elmwood Park an injustice. We need to get this thing moving now. We can't wait. That roof needs to be fixed, the soffit needs to get fixed, and then if you decide to add square footage, add a room, use the existing building, then do so. But let's get the maintenance of this building done now. Lastly, if everybody's been watching the Weather Channel or the news, we have a major storm coming up the East Coast. We're not exactly sure. I don't want to cry wolf. I don't want to be Chicken Little running around saying the sky is falling. But let's just be prepared, folks. If you have a generator at home, please check it. Please make sure it's running. Please make sure you have gasoline, because we all know what happened during Sandy. Our community, parts of our community were without electricity for 10 to 14 days. We had gas stations shut down because they had no power. So please, let's prepare. Make sure you have batteries, make sure your flashlights are working, make sure you have candles in the house. Again, I'm not trying to scare everybody, but just be prepared. After that, thank you. Progress.
Thank you. It's always interesting that November 3rd, we have a mayoral election, and the library has become a major issue.
I'm not up for re-election, Mayor.
I am. Wasn't talking about you. You can run in 4 years, or you can take Mr. Catamanga's place if you wish. You're doing most of the talking anyway. One of the things that I would like to bring up is this library board is working diligently with the architect to find out what they need. He's been told exactly what they want him to do, and he's a professional. He's on the board of a library board in Glen Rock, and he's a professional architect for libraries. So he's doing what he's going to do, and we're going to try to do that all in one time. The library is not just adding a single room. We're doing the air conditioning, we're doing the skylight, we're doing the leak, and that's been there since the building went up. So we're finally, and it's been fixed many times, and the library board has never asked this council for a penny to fix any of that.
They have $1.7 million sitting in the bank. They shouldn't have to ask.
Excuse me. Okay? So the library board, and I think they're doing a good job. I think that to defame them in any way isn't really important, and it shouldn't be done. They're trying hard to do what has to be done. Secondly, that's enough on the library board, I think. This is probably the most important thing that we have this evening. I brought it up to the council at Thursday's work meeting. I was at a meeting with our clerk administrator, Mr. Kazmark, and we were in Hackensack, and there was a brochure that was given out to us about fixing Route 80. They're going to expand Route 80, especially in the area of Patterson. It's a 9-mile fix-up for Route 80, going through Elmwood Park, Saddlebrook, Rochelle Park, and Patterson. What they're planning to do, mostly, is to widen Route 80 in the city of Patterson, making it 4 lanes. That will increase the traffic flow going into Patterson until it reaches another 4 lanes just beyond it. The important thing of that is the plans that Route 80 has from its inception is if you're getting sound barriers, okay, those sound barriers are included in this type of construction. If they're widening the area of Route 80, sound barriers are included. We were told that. I'm going to be working with some of our state assembly people, state senators, Congressman Pascrell. And in fact, there's a section of sound barriers that are needed over in Woodland Park. We're the only one in Bergen County that doesn't have a full length of sound barriers through it. So this is the important, with the do or die. They've told me that they're under the assumption that it's going to be included in this proposal. Now, please, let's not get our hopes up that it's going to be done next week. This is a project that may be gone into construction in 3, 4, or 5 years, so it's not happening overnight. But I think it's our last shot. And Debbie Hurt, who works for the Department of Transportation, has been working with me for 16, 17 years to try to get sound barriers. We've gotten all kinds of excuses, but we don't have sound barriers. The important thing is they can be and should be and hopefully will be included in this massive production that they're going to be doing on Route 80. I also brought up at that meeting the entrance and exit of Route 80 into Elmwood Park. If you go north of Market Street, the exit of Route 80 coming into Elmwood Park and going head-on into Markel Paper, that particular area, and the Department of Transportation didn't know it till I told them, that particular area is going to keep, was, and hopefully still is, keep the exit now, that's there, and that lane goes north toward Fairlawn. They were supposed to, the plans, they have plans, they didn't know where the plans were, but they had plans, that another exit was coming back and making Market Street and River Drive a 5-lane intersection, with the lane coming off Route 80 into that particular area would go south. They would make a turn on Market Street to come to Elmwood Park, or they would continue down to Garfield and beyond. So you would have 2 exits, one going north, one going south. They were not aware of them at the time. They should be. I've seen the plans. Then there's another area I brought to their attention. That is going north on River Drive, the entrance to Route 80 going east. And presently, you get on Route 80 going east by taking Locust Street, one of our local streets. That's Locust Street. The plan was, and if you ever drive River Drive, beyond the Junior Auto Hall, or if you're going up the entrance to Route 80, you can see partial entrance for a new path that was built many, many years ago when Route 80 was constructed. That particular area is supposed to go on River Drive, behind the Junior Auto Hall, and enter Route 80 in the back of the hall. This way, we don't have any major projects or problems with Locust Street. They were made aware of that. Now they're thinking, how do they do it? Do they change the exit coming off Route 80 from Patterson and move it further north so it lines up with the entrance going on to Route 80? Maybe there has to be a traffic light. They were completely unaware of this. The only one who knew about it was Debbie Hurt, and I think that's important. So we have, in my estimation, a great opportunity to get sound barriers, north and south, in Elmwood Park. We have a young woman who ends up with over 600 names on a petition that we will submit to them to show that we do have noise in Elmwood Park, and this is going to be one of the major contributions of the state to provide us, like every other community, with sound barriers. Secondly, I don't want to carry on about the library. Let the library board do what they're doing and come up. They'll show the town and they'll show this council what is going to be provided and how they're doing it. If we're working on the library extension and fixing up everything, if it's done a little slower, at least it's not done wrong. Thank you. Is there anyone how much time do we have? 4 minutes? If anybody wants to speak, I'll open the public meeting. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
John Brosnan, second. Again, all in favor, opposed? Give your name and address, and Mr. DiLorenzo, you have 4 minutes before we take.
I'll be very brief, Mayor. Good evening. Rich DiLorenzo, 166 Hillman, also Rec Advisory Board member and Little League Board member. Just a quick kudos going out. I know they take a beating all the time, but I'd like to send out a thank you to the Elmwood Park DPW, Scott Cars, Al Ruth and their team, just for the edification of council. There was some severe deficiencies over at Earl Field. We had some extremely difficult times this year with the field, with dips and sinking, and some of the children were getting, bad hops hitting them off the throat and off the head. Scott and his team in July 20th closed the field down, leveled it out, in some cases up to 9 inches. They did a wonderful job, new clay, new turf, rerouted sprinkler systems, did a yeoman's job, and got the field ready for the kids to play fall ball on September 1st. I just wanted to put a shout out to them, because they always take a beating, and they did a wonderful job in that heat of the summer for that period of time, and we want to thank them for their efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else who wishes to be heard? 2 minutes.
I think you better change the ticket.
Anybody else, less than 2 minutes?
You saying?
Thank you. Next, anybody else who wishes to be heard? Yes.
Yes, Richard Kowinski, 42 Walnut Street, candidate for mayor on the independent ticket, just so that everybody knows if they think it's political. Mayor, this has been going back to 2012, 2011, but to say it's political now, every year everything is political. But this is about the library in 2012, and let me give some of the councilmen here an education on what happened in 2012 or 11 with the library. The library board came to the council that year and asked us to pave their parking lot. And we looked at the parking lot, and it was about $65,000 to redo that parking lot. So we were told that there was a capital plan in existence, that money was earmarked for capital improvements such as an addition. So we all let it go. Needless to say, I went back to my office that night, called the library board, Victoria Rush, and she said, "You have no capital plan." I said, "Okay, that's interesting. So what do we do with that?" At that time was 1.2 or 1.4 million dollars. Well, the unwritten law was, ladies and gentlemen, that you take 20% over your operating budget. At that time, our budget was $625,000, and you keep 20%, and the rest goes back only for tax relief. Well, needless to say, Lou Boncino, who jumped on board with the library to ask some questions too, we saw the reserve that was there, say, "You pay your lot because we would have to take $65,000 off your road program and your roads and streets that are being done." Well, we got a lot of staff from the library. The library hired an attorney on your dime to fight with their own town, and that's on the minutes of their meeting. They also hired an architect, started to hire, and came forward with a capital plan with the state in 3 months, which Lou Boncino and I, Councilman Lou Boncino and I took apart and said, did we look at alternatives besides spending $1.7 million or $1.4 million at the time for the addition? Or did we look at maybe closing up the whole, doing all different phases of the library and different things to get the needed space that we need, which still lies in limbo yet as far as how much space we do need when the children's program shows 25 to 50 people, sometimes 100 people, and your enrollment shows 10 to 15 visitors a day at the library statistics. So we're looking forward to where we are now. To say it's political is not true. But I got on this library board, I was a Republican at the time, in March of this past year. I've been in the dark since I have got on it. I have not seen an RFP with the architect. I've never met the architect, to be honest with you. I have no idea what the parameters are, and a lot of my colleagues, if anybody was at the meeting, will agree with you. There are a handful of people running that board, of course. I asked the attorney for the library if there was any correspondence when I got on that board, any correspondence at all between the architect, and I was chastised by the library board for talking to the architect, to the attorney. If you want to talk to the attorney, I was told you have to go through the chairman. Well, needless to say, at your last library board, the attorney was there, which we paid for again. It wasn't authorized by this board, by the library board. I was on the verge of quitting the other night, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm so far in the dark. And as far as the hole in the library, yes, your public service goes at $50,000 a year to maintain that library. You can hang meat in that place, it's so cold. Now, are there things that could be done a lot quicker? Yes. Now, the board agreed at the last meeting, and you were there, council, to look into the problems of patching the roof, redoing the roof immediately, and redoing the facade, which wouldn't affect an addition if it was so called for and voted for, which if they vote for is fine. However, I wrote a letter to our chairman. I have yet to see a response or any correspondence between the architect and this board. So right now, we're still in limbo. I will make a recommendation at the next meeting, at the next library meeting, for the health and safety and welfare of the students and the people in this town, I'll ask that you close the doors to that library before someone gets bit. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Kenneth Arabian, 34 Locust Street, Elmwood Park, New Jersey.
Ken, speak it to the mic.
Kenneth Arabian, 34 Locust Street, Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Hey ma'am, one thing, thank you for some lights on, the spotlight you put on the building. At least gave us some light. But still yet, there's no lights on the streets yet.
Through you, Mayor, the poll numbers have been provided to PSE&G, and we're waiting for them to correct the problem.
Oh, I just want to make sure we get light, because it's getting dark out there. And more later and later now, it's going to be dark. And nothing happened yet.
Takes time.
I know, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's been almost 5 months I've been talking about it.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
It's good that we changed the tape. This might take 3 takes. Tom Conboy, 135 12th Avenue, Elmwood Park. I just have a question. First question. The borough attorney has stepped out. Will he be coming back?
I think he had to take a phone call for
Okay.
one of his municipalities.
Wasn't sure if he had to leave due to something.
No.
So I had a question for him as well. First, I'd like to, you guys didn't want to move a little closer and sit in the middle so that when it's on TV, you guys are in the middle? You just wanted separation? Well, I remember one time, the mayor and I, in a very lively conversation, he once told me, "You keep it up, I'd rather work with Democrats." Well, look what he got. All Democrats tonight. Oh, boy. Okay.
I don't remember saying that, Tom.
Oh, Mayor, please, come on.
No, come on.
I know you never
remember when you used to...
I know you
used to
never
be-
have a good memory when it comes to anything you said, only what everybody
I
else said.
remember when you used to be a Giant fan.
Yeah, I vote for both teams.
Oh.
I've always said that,
Yeah,
so.
you have the ability to change sides.
Yeah, good pickup, Mayor. I'm glad to see you can see what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
At the last public meeting, after 40-some-odd years of reading the prayer, you skipped the prayer because you didn't have a paper. So I like your wit tonight. That's good. So first I'd like to say something. Last night was a great night. This town, this community, we really embraced as part of family what's going on with the leaders. And what I think is fantastic is that it's just a part of it. Nothing's fantastic about the children that are very sick. But the love that they've been shown throughout the globe has been unbelievable. And if you were there last night, I think it was great to see everyone came out with their spouses and so forth. The Elmwood Park Democrats were there, the Elmwood Park Independent Club was there, and Little League was there. They were a big sponsor last night at the event, and they did an awesome job. And over $12,000 was raised. And in that event, it was a sold-out event, and it was hosted by the Northern New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. And these are folks that are businesses all throughout the Northern New Jersey area. Don't know maybe anything about Elmwood Park. They weren't even a lot of them. I don't think there was many businesses. I don't think there was any. Councilman Dombrowski can correct me, from Elmwood Park. So that was the beauty of it all. They raised all this great money for this great cause to give these kids more days of life and hopefully find a cure soon so they can go on and have a longer life. But it was just great to see the camaraderie that last night, which I had as I'm taking it all in last night, I'm thinking to myself, our own Chamber of Commerce, which has been reunited, re-energized, thanks, Steve.
Excuse me, is our chamber part of that chamber?
They are, they have a connection. Yeah.
Oh, they are affiliated with that.
I believe they are, but you can talk with the president and ask, but I believe they are. Maybe the liaison knows.
You know, Joe?
But,
They're part of the IOCC, and they're a conglomerate of Chamber of Commerces, and they are part of them. So there is a connection.
Is there dues that are paid and so forth?
I can
No, that's okay.
I could speak for the
And my
individual
point,
chambers,
before-
yes.
Before my words get distorted, my point of saying that there was no Elmwood Park businesses there, I didn't mean it in that way, that they weren't showing support of it. As you know, the Chamber of Commerce for a number of years has Councilman Dombrowski had pointed out, you know, since the chamber has been reorganized and re-energized, that over the time, over a short time period, they've generated over $40,000 back into our community in different fundraisers they've done
Correct.
for families in need and the children and so
Mr.
forth.
Conboy, Rebecca was there.
Excuse me?
Rebecca was there.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for correcting me.
No, I just try to help you out.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So, you know, that was really nice to see last night, but as I sit here tonight, I chuckle a little bit about the library, because I myself sat on the council for many years, and because of the positions I took, I'm standing on this side tonight, probably. And we've been arguing about the library, even among the Republicans, for some time. And you get the same speech in November, especially around October. Don't give them any literature. You say one more word about the library and I'm not going to work for you. So when you hear what you hear tonight, that the library board is all on board. We were at that meeting last week, and a lot of folks in the town were. How many of the board members shook their head saying, I haven't seen a plan? It wasn't just Mr. Chewinski, it was many members of that board.
We haven't got a plan yet. The architect has given us a plan.
How many of them shook their heads saying, oh, we were at the same meeting? How many of them shook their heads saying they haven't even seen the plan or know anything about the plan? I had any
Mr.
input
Conboy,
to
the
the
plan
plan.
hasn't been presented yet.
Mayor,
It's
the
been out.
board, we appoint people to the board. This came up at last week's work meeting, and this has always been my contention with boards. Then it gets turned political. Oh, you're against the boards? Who are you against? Tell me who you're against. And then that board member gets a phone call the next day that this councilman had something negative to say about you. And this is the problem, and I'm part of the problem. As I sat as a councilman, I was just as much as part of the problem. Because you end up appointing people, all the people on the boards, let's be honest, let's put it all out there. They're all good people, right? We know they're good people. We're not questioning the type of family people they are or their beliefs or anything like that. We already know that. That's a given, right? But when you're interviewing people for your businesses, you want to make sure you hire some of the best people, right? So we put people on boards every year to see who the new majority is. Oh, good, we get the majority. Oh, there's 6 seats up. Yeah, we're going to put our people in. I understand that happens in the political arena. I get it. But we don't always put in the best. They're maybe not suited to handle the task that we're asking them to do. I know for a fact, in my last year and a half on council, we actually brought a board member in, a library board potential. There was a seat open, we had to fill it. I remember then. The mayor was furious. How dare you bring this person in? We've never had to bring anybody ever in. You're going to bring this poor man in? Councilman Monsino and I wanted to bring him in. To ask this individual, well, what do you think about our library? Do you think it's a good idea? Back in the day, even before I was involved in politics here in town, I was told that if you wanted to be on a board, you had to submit a resume. Your resume was reviewed, discussed. If you wanted to sit on a seat, the seat came open. We, all of us, have kind of really gotten away from that policy. I hope.
Mr. Conboy, if I can answer you on that one. This council appointed Frank Delegati to the zoning board. Frank Delegati is an architect. He's also a Republican, but this Democratic council control appointed him to the zoning board. We also appointed Mr. Chewinski, who was an engineer, who was a builder, to the library board, and at the time, he was a Republican. And recently, the Board of Health just appointed Edith Spinelli, who is a nurse, to the health board, and she's also a registered Republican. So I'm not trying to denounce what you're saying, but I think this particular council has taken its tasks and reviewed these people. We just reappointed Sue to the Board of Health. Again, another registered Republican. We don't care whether it's Republican, Independent, or Democrat. We want to put the right people on the boards, and I think this council has done that.
Without arguing back and forth, we also appointed 2 people who said they didn't even want to be on the board. So where are we going with that? Go ahead, Tom.
Well, Councilman Dombrowski, if that's what you've been doing of late, that's great.
Yes, thank you.
But historically,
Sure.
both sides.
Agreed.
have done it.
We want to change that.
So I don't disagree with you on that one. I'm just saying, traditionally, and that's what you really noticed. You know, you almost set some of these boards up to almost fail. Because there isn't a lot of quality people there. And if I'm not mistaken, by appointing Mr. Chewinski, and based on the tasks that are at hand, I believe you guys have made a great decision because of the fact he is a builder. He's done quality work in this town, great work in this town, that people call home today. So that part is vital. So when you hear about a vital member has never spoken to the architect, never was asked to give input, if that was at a private meeting?
He was invited.
Well,
He was invited.
so when everybody was asked at the meeting if there's a plan and what instructions were given to the architect, everybody just went like this and said they hadn't seen it. And that's from people that represent both sides of the political spectrum. You couldn't just say, well, it's a Democrat thing or a Republican thing or an independent thing. They were all shaking their heads, except for a few. And what I find very interesting about that meeting, first of all, forget the fact that nobody could turn a light on. And when the lights did come on, there was more light bulbs out than there are on Route 80. But what I even find funnier, just like the meeting we had with the library board many years ago, they went out and hired an attorney. Here's a meeting to discuss about the future. Where in the world was the architect? You brought your lawyer instead? I just don't understand. I just don't. You look around that building and you still see just nothing happening. And they've had plenty of time. I think Councilman Dombrowski pointed it out. They're almost running out on time that their plan is submitted.
3 years, 9 months have gone by, 14 months to go. Excuse me, 13 now.
And to jump on something that Councilman Chewinski said, when we started looking into a lot of these things with the library board, their plan wasn't even ever really filed until we had to go back and find out what the heck that was. So there's a lot of, the library's a great institution. It should be well kept, maintained. I mean, a lot of questions came out that night. Well, did you even bother asking the public? Your people who come in. And I was having a conversation this night with Councilman Martino. You know, you have to have this, you know where to put the best-selling chalk, always your best product in the front. This should be here, this should be that, in any business, right? Your best focus group are your clients, or the people who come in and out your door. They didn't even survey those folks. I've heard the mayor say, I think there's like 5,000 or 6,000 registered people that have a library card. Were they sent any mailings? Were they done anything? And how many of those members are inactive? We've broken down all the numbers. And on the current footprint, a lot of libraries, as I've been researching, are doing a lot of stuff to digital. The books that have never seen or barely taken out yearly are now going to digital. So it's still available, but it's still digital. So that would free up space on the current footprint for making it larger for the children area. And I also thought Councilman Dombrowski brought up some good ideas about partnering up with the school and using their library as well, if that's even doable. I don't know. And when I asked here a couple of months back, I asked the question. I was shocked to hear it at the library board meeting. Yeah, I poked some fun. I asked if we've been signing up those squirrels for library cards. And then I also, I was told at that meeting, at this public meeting, you can go back and check the tape, I was told, oh, squirrel thing is all taken care of. No more squirrels, that's all been fixed. To find out at the meeting, the squirrels are still getting in, I don't understand. You have these funds, and you're not touching them. I mean, I was furious. I said it here, I think, publicly. I gave in. I gave in. In my last few weeks on council, Councilman Coletti put up a motion that we pave a corner of their lot. It was about $9,000. It was going to be in the fall. And I even then said, I think there must be something special about that chair, Joe. I said right there, I'm going to vote for it for safety reasons. But I didn't think we should spend $9,000 more when they've got all that money sitting in that account that they should have did themselves. To the same sunken sewer line that was there when I took office and was there when Councilman Monsino took office because we went to go look at it. That's that same spot. Isn't that kind of sad that in all this time that's the only improvement made of significant dollar value there that we then had to spend? And I did say then we should ask for that money back at some point. I'm sure we never did, and that's not the issue. But it just gets me. I don't know. I just don't get it. But anyway,
just want to talk about the rec for a little bit here. So I went to the rec meeting the other night, and I thought Councilman Dombrowski brought up some good points about some things. One was about the trash liners. You know, Joe, if I ever decide to get back in politics, we either have to run together, because it's going to be kind of tough going head to head. But
Never thought I'd see the day where we agree on many things, Tom, but
hey, Joe, whatever tell you. If you want to meet and talk about EP, I'm there. So,
But he's up here,
I know he is. I know. Well, yeah, he might have got some help to get that chair. I don't know. Not just his own group.
I lost a lot of weight walking. I lost a lot of weight walking.
Yeah. Well, I'm heading in that direction, so anyway. But I was glad to see the rec advisory board was on board with the trash cans, so that was great to see that. And I'm glad to hear that you're going to take the lead. I don't know how much the mayor and council is aware of it. There may be an issue with the fields on Gilbert Avenue next year. Councilman Dombrowski was able to jump in this year and avoid us having to pay $5,000 to use the fields, which would fall on Little League because they're the ones who use it. And with his intervention, he was able to get the county to pass on it this past year. However, that may not be the case moving forward. So I think it would cost about $5,100. And it was discussed at the meeting, and I know Councilman Dombrowski is going to make some phone calls. I also recommended that, you know, a letter from the whole entire governing body may help carry some weight, but you may want to try to go the phone call way first before you go the other route. But I would hope that the county would see that for $5,100, that would be the rough cost to use those fields for our town kids. That certainly is nothing compared if they have to start maintaining it themselves. As everybody knows, our DPW for forever, back to Mr. Mulligan and now Mr. Cars and all their fantastic crews. At one point they wanted to put a soccer field in there, cut down trees and everything else that we were doing. We were taking down trees. And so if they maintain it, they line it, get it all ready. That would mean the county would now have to start doing that. I think for $5,100, I think they would agree that better off just letting us keep doing what we're doing and so forth. But a couple other quick ones. And the scoreboard. I know I keep bringing it up, okay? The scoreboard, now money is in hand because Spencer Bank donated about $4,000. Finally had to get it off their books. It's been on their books now for 3 years. And when I left office, I believed it was almost ready for completion. We just had to pick one out. Now, I'm still scratching my head. We have a DPW that we let do things with gas, jump in holes, deep holes, remodel fields, do everything else. I'm still baffled that our guys cannot, we just can't purchase a scoreboard and then have our guys do what they normally have always done. The other scoreboards that are in place have never budged. Their footings are sounder than the library. They're well put together. Anybody knows Mr. Mulligan or Mr. Cars, they don't do anything half-assed. They do it to the best craftsmanship they can. And when I heard that it could cost us $25,000 to maybe $30,000, for some reasons, it's unknown to me, they dig trenches all day long, they do things, everything else. I don't know why we have to go that length. And I'll be honest with something else. I want to do everything for kids too. Anyone who knows me knows that to be true. But do we really need a $15,000 scoreboard? I mean, the one we got from TD Bank, TD Bank had given 5. It was a little under 8. We took out of the trust the remaining part. Plus, we bought controllers, and we had to run more electricity, upgrade the electricity because of the scoreboard, the new technology, and it got done. I understand that they want to buy a scoreboard about $15K. They got, like I said, 4 from there, from Spencer. Then they were saying that, the director was saying, well, one of the soccer leagues is going to give money to from their fundraising. And then, of course, we have the other soccer league that we're currently in legality issue with, that they wanted to give up monies as well. And here's what one thing that was said at the rec meeting was, well, until we resolve the legality issue, we're really holding off. And my comment was, listen, if the aftercare program is as successful as everyone believes it is, and at the last work meeting, Councilman Padiano mentioned it was going to be a lot lucrative than everybody expected, in projections, and understanding projections go up and down, they change, they fluctuate. We could be looking at a potential new source of revenue just from that alone, and on plus side of over $100,000. Okay? So let's even call it I'm wrong, and it's $80,000. Not to mention all the other things that fall into the trust, that go into it annually. I don't see why we're holding back and waiting, and I said that to the whole advisory board and the director. Don't wait for the legality to be over. No one knows what that's going to be, and nobody knows anything. Let's get the scoreboard done for the kids. It's like the third soccer season, and it's not necessarily anybody's, I'm just talking in general here. All right? It's not a Republican issue, it's not a Democrat issue. I'm just talking in general. I mean, just get it done. And I know that the scoreboard they want to get is real glitzy. I get it. I like glitz too and everything else. But we also, I know one of the things they want to get that's expensive, I know is expensive, is the LED part of it, because they want to have a little message board on it. Well, that's what we took money out of the trust to do on Boulevard. There's a message board on Boulevard that could be utilized. So I just hope you guys will look into that. You know, let's get it done. Another soccer season's going to be over, and there's no scoreboard. So, so we can get that done. That would be really fantastic. The other thing I just want to mention is, if I may ask a question of our borough attorney. Matt? Okay. Mr. Borough Attorney, how are you? Good evening. At the library board meeting, I know yourself and their representative had a professional difference of opinion, and we've been able to come to a more understanding of what really, do they have the purview to just do whatever improvements they want to a building that we clearly own?
I'm waiting, well, I'm not certain that we clearly own that. I'm waiting for a search to come back on all the various lots apparently that make up that property. Once I review that and I check if there's any deed restrictions, any reverter clauses on it, I'll be in a position to render an opinion as to whether they need the mayor and council's permission or they could just do it.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys will take care. Be safe over this upcoming storm. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Mayor and Council, I have to clarify one point. The architect meeting was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I asked another trustee also who couldn't make that meeting, that the architect come in at night, 7 o'clock at one of our meetings, and that was overruled by the trustee board. That's why I wasn't there, or another member, or some other members. Thank you.
Let me just comment on only one item. Thank you, Rich. We talked about the paving of the parking lot of the library board. We hired our paver, who was paving, and it had to be done immediately. It didn't go out to bid or anything else. So we hired him for $9,000, and we were told by Mr. Chewinski, it'll never last over the winter. It's now, I think, 2, maybe 3 years. That patch is still there. Excellent. There's no one else who wants to be heard. Mr. Conboy, that's enough. That's enough.
Mayor, I never said it was not enough.
Be honest.
I am honest, Mr. Conboy.
I never said that word that wouldn't last. All I said, we had a policy of not paving in the dead of winter. We can't even open streets after November, any builder in this town.
Thank you. It was not in the dead of winter, it was right after they were still paving local
It
streets.
was December 25th when this board
It
was
was still
taking
paving
over my
local
streets.
streets. Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Karen Director, 156 Lee Street. I just want to mention at one of the other library meetings, when they were having that discussion about seeing the architect and meeting with the architect, the most important point was that the library board was paying the architect to come and meet with the committee. It was a $6,000 check that was given to the architect to meet with the committee.
No, it was part of his fee.
Okay, part of his fee.
Not to meet with.
However, the discussion was at that meeting, if the meeting should be at 3 o'clock or 7 p.m., with one of the qualified people that understood more about architectural discussion. Mrs. Policano and the other people on the board, no one understood anything about the architect. And they clearly stated that at this meeting, this past meeting, that they didn't understand what he was saying anyway. and still no one knows what's going on. You had someone that could understand, but they didn't make the meeting to his convenience. We were spending the dollar. If it's our dollar, why couldn't the meeting, somebody said, I believe it was Jamie had said, that the meeting was going to be at 3 o'clock. Why was it their choice to make the meeting at 3? Why shouldn't it have been at 7? Because the architect can't make it at 7. We're paying that architect. We, the borough, paid that architect. Shouldn't he be at a meeting that we say what the time is so that we can understand more about it?
Thank you.
It's very sad that no one knows
Mr. Recchi
anything.
is also running for council with Mr.
Why do
Truitt.
you keep bringing up politics?
Because you should do that.
But you're the one bringing up politics. We're not talking politics.
We're
talking about
I'm just
residents.
indicating, Mr. Truinsky was fair enough to say that he was running for council, for mayor.
I didn't say I'm running for council.
That's why-
I'm a concerned citizen. That's all I
Are
am.
you running for council?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
I didn't mention that, though. You did.
I know it, and I wanted to. Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Thank you.
No, Convoy,
I'm sorry, Mayor, you didn't ask for a motion to close the public, and I'm coming right back up. You know what?
well,
Tom Convoy, 135 Dwell Avenue. You're the master of politics. How dare you always have to have people come up and say, well, aren't you running too? That is just part of your thing. And then you have a memory loss when it comes to what you say, I don't remember that, I don't remember this. I don't know why you keep making it sound like we're all coming up here, like we don't know what we're talking about. Even
I will comment.
your colleagues on the
I will
side of
comment.
you are all shaking their head because they've been at these meetings. They know themselves. And when it comes to, you act like this is new about the library. And let me tell you something else about the paving. The paving, it's under $9,000. We would have to go out to bid anyway. The threshold is, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's gone up or down, is like 29 and change. So we paved it because they can't take care of their own house. It's a shame. The library almost resembles Borough Hall. And you're the only person who sits on the library board. You appoint the people. You're always the go-to liaison, whether it's a state law or
and you
not.
voted on it.
Absolutely. Did you know why? For so long, I was a fool and took everything in and let you push me around about how I should vote. You do it to your own people.
I couldn't move you 6
You
inches.
do it
How
to
can
your
I
own
push
people.
you?
And that,
How
would
can
never
I
bring
push
this
you
stuff up.
around?
The way you talk to everybody here, you do it all the time. All the time. And I know for a fact you've already said it to current people on that board, on this council now. Be careful. And why are you even talking? Little Mr. Councilman Monsino, you already said to him already, and he can defend himself when he gets back. Lou, don't you start bringing up that library. They're going to give them literature. There's nothing secret about the library. It's in the same disrepair it was several years ago.
Thank you, Tom, before you get a stroke.
Yeah, don't worry, Mayor.
Mayor, if I may, just to make it full disclosure, council candidate Lorraine Pellegrini is also here, and council candidate Bob Colon are here. I don't see the other two here from your party, so.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. They're out
Joe?
campaigning, and one is over at the hospital visiting his mother.
Okay. But
Anyone
this
else?
isn't the only meeting that they've missed.
No one else wishes to be heard. May I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Thank you.
Mayor, they haven't been hardly any meetings. Cherto's been to a couple of meetings, come on. Every one of